story my grandmother told my aunt. You left that good boy. You know, back then, Ocho, it wasn't no good. You were a boy or a son. No matter how old you were, if you were younger than them, you were a boy or son. She's like, girl, you left that good boy. Yeah. Like, mama, there's plenty of fish in the sea. My grandma deadpan. Yeah, but you might not catch him.
Now, Skip, my grandma used to say, if you give a snow bunny a carrot, she gonna take the whole garden. Yeah, we got to talk about this because I've been watching other people's channels on this subject and nobody's really talking about the things that really matter and the things that really are the root cause of this stuff, man, because everybody's kind of skipping over stuff. They trying to just say either he did it or he didn't do it. And that's not what I'm here for. My channel is more to like go through the lessons we need to learn from this. And people try to simplify stuff like, well, just don't date white women. You should always date black women. That's not the lesson you learn from here. That's not what we need to talk about. So I don't want to go down that path because that's not the path I want to go down. So first thing first, my thing and what people have to learn, in my opinion, and these are just old school rules, right? You need to learn to like who likes you.
He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
He met her at a gym. He tried to hit on her a few times. You know, she wasn't really interested, but he was, you know, pursuing her like, you know, guys would do. And, you know, and she eventually DM'd them and then they went from there. See, that's mistake number one. Young guys, and I would just say even older guys, when you go after a woman and she turns you down, just walk away, bro. Don't look back. Don't try to make sense of it. Don't ask why. The minute she rejects you, that's it. And if she do come back, you know, you got to ask, why did she come back, right? Especially if you a successful person, especially if you got money and, you know, and especially if you're doing well in life. If she comes, excuse me, I got allergies. If she comes back, you know, you have to really question why, right? Nothing changed. You the same looking person, you same personality, but all of a sudden now you're interested. Red flag, red flag, red flag. The only thing I would say is probably acceptable for me personally is if, you know, let's say hypothetically, if I was on the market to date someone and I were to approach her and she's like, you know what? I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend, you know, or I have a husband or something like that. That's totally acceptable, right? So if, you know, she might have been interested, but, you know, she got somebody else. So that's normal. That's normal process, right? So if she do swing back around in 9 months or a year or so, and she's like, hey, you know what? You remember you tried to hit on me, blah, blah, blah. I looked you up and, you know, yeah, I would like to go on that date with you, or I would like to have that coffee with you. That's cool. I mean, because, you know, she was with somebody. She ain't with that person no more. Now she interested in you. That's a totally logical, a totally normal situation. But if she just say no and, you know, she's single and she ain't got nobody, well, then move on and move on fast. Do not stick around. Don't ask questions. Don't ask why. Just go, because it's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble. So that's the first thing. Like who likes you. So the next question we got to ask is, Mr. Sharpe, why aren't you married, right?
Talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight?
You are 55 years old, or I think 56 years old, and you're still running around like you're in your 20s, right? This is why this happened to you, bro. Because at 55, you're almost 60 years old, bro. You ain't supposed to be on the streets, bro. You supposed to be married. You supposed to be had something locked down, and you and your wife supposed to be running up a bag right now. That's what y'all supposed to be doing. And I know a lot of these younger guys and the red pill crazy will be like, no, you just can't be marrying these women. They gonna take half your money and they gonna do all this. I mean, yeah, that's a possibility. But look at where he at right now. He in a situation where a woman he don't know don't even really like, she about to try to take half his money. So what's the difference? I don't see the difference. And by the time he pay all these legal fees, he's going to spend like millions and millions of dollars in these legal fees. Let me give y'all some game too. A lot of y'all don't know is when you start moving up in the business world, the expectation for you is to be married. People don't do huge business deals with single men because single men are a liability. And let me explain this to you. I know y'all gonna argue this, I know you're gonna fight, but if you look up all the richest people, all the most powerful people, they all have wives. And when the divorces don't work, they pay their wives out and they go get a new wife. They don't remain single. First thing they do is get married again. And I'll give you every instance. Donald Trump, he's been married 3 times. Michael Jordan's been married twice. Tiger Woods is about to get married again. Who else? You just name it. The list goes on and on and on. Jeff Bezos, Robert Kraft, all the wealthy people understand, like when you do business, especially when you do international business, that's huge. You cannot be a single man. They don't want you around their women just being a single dude because everybody knows what that comes with, right? So a lot of these business deals, actually really include your family, right? Because they're gonna call you and be like, "Hey, you know what? Let's go to the golf course, or let's let the wives get together. They go shopping, we go to the golf course, right?" When you do business deals, a lot of times the families intertwine because people understand like you got a responsibility. When you have a family and a wife, you have a responsibility as a man. And the thing is, if you can manage your wife and you can manage your family, the people think you can manage your business. So that's just a little bit of game for y'all. I know y'all don't believe me. You want to give all these instances of people doing businesses. Oh yeah, I know a dude who made $1 million. Y'all give me all these scenarios where a dude, oh yeah, I know this dude, he made $1 million. He ain't had no wife, he's single. Let me tell you something. I'm not talking about $1 million deals. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the type of deals he's making. He was just about to make $100 million deal. That's a huge difference, right? Between $1 million deal and $100 million deal. That's not even the same thing. So, and you gotta think, when they making these deals are coming from billionaires. So everybody he's in contact with are the very top tier, the very top cream of the crop guys. So that's what's going on with him, and that's the situation he's in. So he was actually fortunate to get that deal without being married. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about too is Shannon Sharpe. Where are your friends? I'm not talking about these fake people like Stephen A. Smith. And look, I ain't got no beef with Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith ain't really your friend because you ain't really known him enough time. He might be cool to go on the show. He cool to do business with, but you gotta understand, you got business friends and you got friends, right? See, when you're single and you're unmarried and stuff like that, then this is one of the cheat codes too. You have to have a group of friends, man. And I mean tight friends that can do things with you, keep you grounded, and keep things in perspective. And people that when they say something, you're going to listen to them, right? Don't matter where they're at in their life, right? You can have $1 million, they can have $20. It don't matter. I know this is my friend either way. It don't matter what he's doing, and when he says something, I'm going to listen because this is guidance. This is the person that's seeing things I can't see. Because sometimes what happens is you get in your own loops, you get in your own echo chambers, and you get tunnel vision, and it happens to everybody. This is why these friend groups are so important. See, when you marry, that person's supposed to be your wife, right? But if you're not married, then you need to have friends, that'll help you out to keep you out of your echo chambers and keep your vision wide and keep you out of the tunnel vision thing. And I know what happened. He saw that young girl. Oh yeah, look, pretty little white girl at the gym. And, he got tunnel vision. And if he was talking to his friends at least once a week, because I know my best friend, I call him at least once a week. If it ain't just to say, hi, how your daughter doing? We talk at least once a week. And it ain't got to be about nothing. If you just call him and say, hey, am I doing the right thing, right? You need these people in your life, especially the more successful you get. And if you're not married, to keep you on a straight and narrow path, right? This is another thing I don't like too, man. And I'll say this too. And this is a personal thing with me. If you're an older man messing with a younger girl with a huge age gap like that, yeah, you're an adult. you can do it, but don't play with that girl because you're wasting her time. If you just gonna play with somebody that age, then no, I don't like that. It's one thing if they was gonna be serious, but he knew he wasn't gonna be serious with that girl. He saw her at the gym, he cracked on her. He was just trying to smash a few times, play a couple freaky games with her, according to the audio, and then that was it, man. And that's not cool to do with that. Find somebody your age to do that with. If you really gonna get with somebody that age in their prime, a woman in their prime years, bro, do her right. I mean, don't try to take advantage of her, right? Because that's what you're doing. At the end of the day, if you're not trying to make her better, lead her down a proper path, show her how to do things you're doing, get her to your level, then you're taking advantage of her. Because there's really the only benefit of her dating you at that age is your wisdom. It ain't just fucking stroke because you 50, bro. I'm fucking 42. I know what it is, bro. Like it ain't like it was when it was 22, bro. And I don't care how many pills you take. It ain't like it is when it was 22, bro. So at the end of the day, your best asset and your best thing to offer a woman at your older age is your wisdom, your knowledge. So she don't fall through the same holes and traps you fell through when you were trying to come up, right? So basically you should be the shortcut for her, right? And if you're not trying to do that and be in that situation, then leave her alone, bro. Leave her alone. Or if she don't want that, right? Because a lot of times, you guys will go out here and you meet these young girls and then you would try to do that for her. Like, oh, yeah, you know what? Look, shorty, all you gotta do is go to college or take these classes, do this, do that. You try to, rein her in and show her how to do stuff. And then a lot of times they don't want to do it. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. Walk away, bro. You ain't got no business with that girl, man. You ain't got no business, especially his age. You ain't got no business with that girl, man. So, that's what I really think about that part, man. He just don't got the friends or something like that to tell him, like, yo, bro, walk away. Oh, how old is she? What? If I was his friend, he would call me like, yeah, I met this little 20-year-old at the gym, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, what's she about? Oh, she sent me all this freaky stuff. Bro, walk away. Well, what she do? I don't know what she do. Oh, we'll find out. He called me back. Oh, she on OF. Walk away, bro. It's no benefit. When you're at his level, it's no benefit. If you need it that bad, bro, go buy it. Go pay for it. Go get you a worker. Do what you got to do and then walk off. Or keep a worker on the payroll. Do something, bro. But you don't play these games with these young women at his age and think it ain't gonna be no consequences.
I was having sex with this young lady.
Hold on. Paint the whole picture now. Don't cheat me.
Yeah, don't cheat me either.
Okay.
I want details.
We're having
details.
Sex. We're having sex.
Position?
Yeah.
I'm the bad dog.
Hey. Oh Lord Jesus. She ain't do it, but she don't know she did.
Let's go, bro.
No, she did.
That is out. And what I'm about to say is 1,000%
Talk to me, baby.
So she passed gas.
Sir.
She said, excuse me. I said, that's all right. Do it. Yes, she passed gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she looked back and say, excuse me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How she do it?
Time. She said, excuse me. I said, that's all right, baby. I generally make them shit.
How she do it?
Hey, she said, excuse me. I said, that's all right, baby. I generally make them shit. Ooh. It kept going. I'm with it. I'm hell with it, time. I'm hell with it, time.
Hey. Come on,
Both
baby.
of y'all nasty, man.
They talk.
Both of y'all nasty, dog.
Hey.
I swear. I swear.
No, I know you ain't nasty.
Fist bump.